Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another awesome Legacy Fight Night. I am Dr. Leo, here with my homie Beyond Statistic. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing absolutely amazing, Doc. Today is a Tuesday, and you know what Tuesday means?
We got some Legacy Fight Night
It,
action going
it
on.
absolutely
So,
is. Absolutely.
ooh, some good old-fashioned paper Legacy, a classic matchup. We got 12 posts and Pox here. I'm just happy to see Pox because like you don't see it every day. It's so much fun to watch, and like everybody just loves a good Pox deck.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially with Malfi's list being a colorless prism post deck versus a Pox deck. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like watching fireworks happen.
Yeah, so I'm right now looking at the three sinkholes, four smallpox, and also the three wastelands in the deck
Right,
in the main,
right.
and it is brutal.
It-
Oh my god.
yeah. The fact that basically Malfi the entire time is going to be like, I'm going to prison you out. He's got his big super threats. And then Pain Cow on the other side is like, I'm going to destroy your land. I'm going to destroy all your creatures. I've got my Mishra's factories. I've got a Maze of Ith. You bring your Stonecoil Serpent, kid, because it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and honestly, when I usually watch these types of matchups, especially with 12 posts, hey, Chaotic Bear, thanks for the resub, sticking
Yeah.
with us for the last 6 months.
Thank you
Much
so much
appreciated,
for the
homie.
resub.
But so when I see this matchup, when it comes to post, I always say post can top deck harder than any deck in the format. That's what the deck is designed to do. But when we're talking about post versus pox, I
Right.
mean, you can top deck hard, but when you have like zero lands on the field, you're not going to be able to do much in this matchup.
No,
So
I totally agree. And the interesting thing here is I think the fact that Malfi is leading on a soul land with a sphere of resistance, this is going to be a really, really interesting matchup because there's the wasteland.
mhm,
Go ahead. Now you've got nothing. I don't need to play anything. Your sphere of resistance is cute. Let's see what you can do now. And this is going to be a
yeah.
back and forth, and this is really going to be interesting. So
Yeah, and I always do talk about this when we talk about these prison decks. There are times because you have to remember, Pox is not Pox. 12 Post is a deck that is the only deck in Legacy that actively plays Enter the Battlefield tap lands
correct.
because the benefit of untapping with them is so huge.
Right.
You untap with 2 to 3 posts, game over.
Absolutely.
Or I mean, that is a hand that we are seeing on this
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorcerer
Definitely.
Spyglass.
Sorcerer
Oh,
Spyglass. I get to see it all.
oh,
What's he gonna pick?
oh!
He's got
I hope
Cabal
he's
Pit,
not.
Maze, him, Sinkhole, Deluge. Wow.
Okay, so for those that have been around for in the Discord for a while, know that I love good discard spells.
Right.
I see double him, sinkhole, and a toxic deluge,
Right.
plus the lands to play around the sphere. Like, I'm feeling
It's
bad if
on.
I'm Malfi here.
It's on.
There, I'm sitting here just like, okay, well, my next soul land is going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to do. I'm not going to be able to untap with 3 mana here. So what's going to be the most beneficial thing? And I honestly think Sorcerer Spyglass, the best thing to name is going to be Wasteland.
Either Wasteland or Maze of Ith. One of the two. Because you've got to be able
Yeah,
to stick a threat and you're going to be able to have to fight through that. However, these hymns are literally going to tear this kid apart.
yeah. Of course, we can't go like the powerful version of like Dark Ritual, double him you, bye bye
Right.
your hand.
And he did actually
But
name Wasteland. So here comes the
yeah,
Sinkhole. I don't need Wasteland.
yep.
That's perfectly fine. I've got Sinkhole. I can play all day.
Yep, and this is what Pox likes to do. Pox is one of those decks that goes off of the Jund style thing. Oh, just hit my mic there.
No, you're fine.
The Jund style of thinking, where I will top deck harder than you.
Right.
I will empty each other's hands, land just one threat, and just ride it to victory.
Right.
And it's one of those things that Malfi can top deck very hard in this matchup. But the problem is, a lot of Malfi's lands are going to enter the battlefield tapped, and that is just prime territory for a sinkhole. In this case, Wastelands has Pithing Needle, but it's one of those things that there's tons of different answers in this deck. I mean,
Right.
we even also have the 4 small pox in the deck.
Right.
It is classic pox.
And that hymn did just take a Golos and a Karn.
Oh yeah. Oh, and here we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
There's a Pox. You've got Stonecoil Serpent on the battlefield as a 1/1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
This is
brutal.
going to be brutal. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Smallpox. So for those that don't know the wonderful card of Smallpox, it is black black. Each player loses 1 life, discards a card, sacrifices a creature, then sacrifices a land.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Crucible.
this is now.
Okay.
It got real.
Yeah.
Granted,
So
he
this
can't
is exactly
wasteland.
where Pox
He
wins.
can't wasteland from the graveyard, but
At this point, do you even care?
no.
There we go. Lily of the Veil.
Now that Pink House in complete control, I really don't. It's going to take a lot for Malfi to be able to take care to fight back from this.
Yeah, and anything short of, let's see what Malfi's got. Because remember, Malfi is primarily a prison deck. So it's the Basalt Monolith Infinite combo with what's the card called? Forsaken Monument, the
Right.
new card from
There's a Bajuka Bog.
Zendikar. Yeah.
Plus up Lily. Discard the last.
There we go.
Yeah.
Get the Wasteland. I don't think. Okay, yeah. He played the Bajuka Bog, and then he was going to play the Wasteland. Okay, so he got caught with the.
Yep.
Morgan.
Morgan,
Hi there, Morgan.
how are you doing tonight? Mr. Jack Dex, welcome to your Pox Nightmare.
Yes. Okay, so this is, I was about to bring this up because this is the one card that Malfi really wants to see in the deck, and it came off the top, which is Mystic Forge.
Right.
This allows Malfi to play around the, hand disruption, but at the same time is kind of giving him a couple of outs.
Right. And Liliana being here is going to absolutely make sure that Malfi is unable to keep anything in hand. He's just going to keep plussing that up, and eventually he's going to rip apart Malfi's board, and then it's going to be game over.
Yeah, exactly. How would you do the Lily split in this one if you were able to get to the Lily Ultimate?
Honestly, I think what I would split the Mystic Forge and the Sanctuary, or the Spyglass. Make him choose, because one way or another, you're winning. If it unlocks Wasteland, Malfi is going to lose all of his lands. He still does have a monolith, but at the same time, he's got to be able to create mana with lands. Otherwise, he's just not going to be able to play the game. Artifacts only get you so far.
Yeah, and I agree.
And losing the Mystic Forge is also going to hurt.
Yeah. Well, it is possible because with Lily, it does also hit the land, so you could separate lands and spells.
Yep, absolutely.
Which I really do like. But at the same time, I also kind of want to get sort of a wasteland effect on this because we are seeing 3 posts on the field.
True.
2 cloud posts and 1 glimmer post. So that's enough mana. Okay, we are seeing a response to the naming a untap because after that, it can't be untapped. So.
Correct. So response to Lily, untaps Monolith, and Inventor Fair is also there, and it's gaining life as well.
Yeah, it's something at least. And honestly, hey, Pox can spin its wheels from time to time and end up with, no threat, what's it, Mishra's Factory or something like that to finish it off. Yeah, no Mishra's Workshop in this format.
That would be ridiculous. Can you imagine Cloud Post with Mishra's Workshop?
Could you imagine Mud with Mishra's Workshop?
Right. So it looks like Cloud Post and Glimmer Post in one pile, the other 2 lands in another. So he is splitting the Inventor Fair with he's got 2 Cloud Posts and one Glimmer Post. Spyglass and Monolith in left. Right pile gets Mystic Forge and Sphere, so he did split them.
Yeah. So what are you liking here? What are you liking to get rid of?
It looks like he kept the Spyglass and ditched the Mystic Forge. So he's got a Cloud Post. He's got his Inventor Fair, a Cloud Post, a Monolith, and the Spyglass. That's it.
Yeah.
Malfi I think he has to, because if he gives him back his Wasteland, Malfi is going to be able to do nothing.
Yeah, literally nothing. And we are seeing here, it is a possibility that if Malfi's able to slam 1 more artifact, that Inventor's Fair is turned on to be a tutor effect. Very true. I don't know how viable that is right now because of the fact that what really artifacts are you going to tutor for besides Mystic Forge?
Well, that's just
in this situation.
Maybe he could go tutor for a Golos.
A Golos, a Stonecoil, yeah,
Yep,
but
if
you
he
don't
needed
have.
it.
Oh, okay. We have some mana now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
He's definitely got.
I like what we're doing.
He's definitely getting there. Although he's got another Lily too.
Yeah.
So, and then it's
Yeah, and
it's
there's
brutal.
in 2 turns we are going to see another ultimate.
Yes.
Like that is guaranteed.
Yeah, and that's gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah. And
Discards a
pick up
Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize. Yeah.
Malphite's
I
got
mean,
nothing
it's
in
one of those
hand.
cards.
He is gonna tutor with the Inventor's Fair. So what does he get? Does he go get the monument?
Lady Dios, thank you for the resubscribe for the last 2 months. Really appreciate it. But I actually get Stonecoil Servant here.
I would agree with that. It gives you a threat.
I think Stonecoil Serpent is a very good threat. No, actually, that being said, it gets Edict.
It would. Lily would, but it does slow down his Lily ultimate also.
Exactly.
He did get a walking ballista.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something.
And he's going to gain life off that post. So it's going to put him to 22.
Wow.
So, I know. He gains,
I'm always amazed by how much
fast
Glimmer Post can grow.
Yeah. And he does play a ballista on 4.
Expect it. Okay. So are we going to see...
Well, he can't attack through it because he's got Maze of Ith on the other side.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If Pain Cow goes for the... Oh, yeah, because it literally... If he goes for the down tick, it doesn't matter because... Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
We just go for the ultimate.
Yep. And I'm assuming he's going to sack the ballista and sack the counters. Or is he going to leave the ballista there so he's got a threat? I really don't know. I don't think he would.
Yeah. You know what? I actually would not mind just having this be lands and spells because at this point the ballista does nothing
and the monolith can't untap.
And the monolith can't untap, exactly. I would not mind just doing lands and spells.
Yep. I would agree with that.
But then again, I'm also like terrible at these types of piles. So that's why I just always take the 3 on a fact of fiction. Like you can give me whatever.
Typical Chaz says, wait, why not ping Lily? I agree, but at the same time, I think he's trying to keep a threat. Oh, and then he's got another one right here. Another Lily.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
That follow-up was big. And he did go lands and spells. Yep. And he's just gonna drop that Lily right away.
And this is where I was talking about where Malfi at this point is playing that I can top deck harder than you game.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't hate that position.
Right.
I mean, Malfi has a lot of possibilities. We have a lot of soul lands, as we see with the City of Traders. So it's going to the point where Malfi is saying, I can draw enough of my 24 lands to be able to produce a viable threat before you can find one of your good threats.
Right.
Because there are still a lot of dead draws in here in the form of I mean, that was the last Lily of the Last Hope.
Right.
We've already seen 2 Lily of the Veil, so there's only 1 left.
Yeah.
We do have some factories on board finally, so that's good at least.
And I totally agree. There's a sinkhole.
There we go.
That's going to take off that City of Traders. Yeah, he's just going to go in. There's another 4. I think this, unless Malfi can land, unless he's got a 1-drop or a 2-drop in there, this is going to go rather quick.
Yeah. Well, there's a Cloud Post.
Yep. And there's a Thoughtseize. He's got nothing in hand. Why would he Thoughtseize him? Or does he have something in hand?
I think he's got 2 in hand.
Oh, does he?
He's got 2 in hand. Yeah. And I mean, this is good because that Thoughtseize, you can take that Grid Monolith.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
It's not like your life total is being pressured at all, so it doesn't really matter.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that puts it 11 to 17 now.
And this was the gamble that Malfi took of just well, if I give up my the Sorcerer Spyglass, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to get wastelanded to death and
correct
every single turn.
This was his only way. He had to gamble like this. This was his only way out.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Hey, T-Bane. Hey, welcome to the stream. We are the MTG Paper Legacy Discord, and this is our Tuesday night fight night.
Yeah.
It is where we bring on some members of the Discord to be featured on our stream and to just have a fun time and jam their favorite decks.
Right, absolutely. And if you'd like to be part of that, !Discord in the chat will get you the link. You can head on over. We're just shy of 2,000 members right now, so we're proxy friendly and always looking for a good time. So definitely.
Yeah, we are very. I mean, entire decks are proxied. Oh, okay, okay. We do have an Ugin.
But there comes the last two.
Yeah. And then the trick with the Mazavith and the pump.
Yep,
That was
really cool. Very cool. Stingray, thank you so much for the follow.
All right, so game one going to Pox, and this is what we were talking about, where like Pox just has that advantage in game one of just, I mean, so many land and kill spells, 3 Sinkles, 4 Smallpox, and 3 Wastelands.
Right.
Like at that point, it's just a hard matchup. But let's go on to Malfi's sideboard.
Yes.
So in the sideboard, remember, this is also a Karn deck, so it is also a Wish board. So some of these may not be coming in. So we got 1 Basalt Monolith, 2 Dismembers, 1 Ensnaring Bridge, 2 Fair Macabre, 1 Forsaken Monument, 3 Ley Lines of the Voids, 1 Liquid Metal Coating, 1 Mycosynth Lattice, 1 Sorcerer's Spyglass, 1 Torpor Orb, and 1 Walking Ballista, which I'm pretty sure those last 4 are not coming in. They're
no, they're just going to be wish targets, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see the Ensnaring Bridge, and I could see the Fairy Macabres. Granted, this isn't a hardcore graveyard deck, but if he ever gets that Wasteland, if he ever gets the Wasteland combo online and starts Wastelanding every turn, he has to have a way to be able to get rid of those.
I completely agree.
Because that would shuts Malfi's deck completely down.
So when we're talking about like other spot removals, I mean, Dismembers aren't even that good against Pox. Everybody knows that Pox barely runs any creatures, and the creatures that usually does run is like a Bob.
Yeah.
So
for good reason too.
Oh yeah, completely understandable.
Yeah.
I actually just picked up my first Bob, and I have learned the power of Bob. It is a good feeling.
The power of Bob is definitely well worth its definitely well worth its meme.
Oh yeah. But I do like the 2 Fairy Macabre over like any sort of Leyline of the Void or anything like that. I think that's more for like the hardcore graveyard decks.
Yeah, and that actually gives the Fairy Macabre. I don't really see a world where he's really ever casting them. He could cast them, however, that gives him another threat
boards against on the other side.
Exactly, it gives him another threat against an edict also. So
you're not wrong. The power of having just a body that can be sacrificed to an edict is very powerful.
Yep, I totally agree. Especially when that Pox is full of them. That's its whole game plan.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you walk me through Pox's sideboard?
Yeah, definitely. 2 Extirpate, 2 Pithing Needle, 2 Collective Brutality, 1 Feed the Swarm, which is a hot new card that just came from my Zendikar Rising. Liliana's 3 Liliana's Triumph, 2 Plague Engineers, Satan's Tool, and then 3 Leyline of the Void.
Okay, so for those that were not here for the legendary Chaman Wasteland your tropical island and extirpate your tropical islands from your graveyard against Rug Delver, or it was an extirpate. It was an extirpate.
But yes,
or a surgical effect. That was legendary, and I have done that before against 12 posts. You Wasteland their first 12 posts, you surgical them, and just call it good.
Yep.
That's honestly, that would be my game plan in this matchup, as well as like Pithing Needle's also really good.
Yeah, Pithing Needle shuts down a lot of the effects that Malfi, the permanents that Malfi wants to put onto the board. Collective Brutality, absolutely worthless right here. I think that does him nothing. I could see a Feed the Swarm as just a way, another removal spell for a creature, or for, if he does feel like he's going to bring Leyline of the Void hate, which I wouldn't think that, but outside of that, Leyline of the Void not coming in, Feed the Swarm is pretty much a worthless card at that point. Yeah. I wouldn't even bring the Liliana's Triumph. You're not going to get swarmed. No Plague Engineers, no Ley Lines. Pithing Needle and Extirpate are, I think, 100% the way to go.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I really do think that Pithing Needle has so many viable targets here that it's definitely worth the slots. And Not gonna lie, there are some dead cards like the 2 opposition agents in the matchup.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. If you're not searching for anything, there's really no reason to have them there. Although I do like the opposition agents in a deck like this because that completely gives you another outlet or another angle to shut off from your opponents, which Pox has never really had. You've always been the bigger, badder edict. You've always been able to rip apart their hand. You've always been able to shut off their land source. But now the fact that you can shut off their ability to tutor, that's pretty damn big.
Yeah, I have been experimenting with opposition agent as well,
Mm-hmm.
and it does have its spots that can be very powerful. And anytime, Chaman, that was an epic play on your side, and it was a great thing to remember. And if you're on the Discord, you can actually check out the Chaman extra pay emotes that we have in there
Yes.
because it was a very hyped moment.
It
That
was
was a
epic.
great league finals.
Yeah, absolutely
That was
agree.
really cool.
That I think it was Regisor gained a lot of respect that day.
Oh yeah, I did not understand how good Registor could be until I saw Dark Ritual then put out on turn 1. I was like, okay,
Right.
okay, I like this.
In Mono Black Reanimator world, Regisor is a pretty good enabler.
Yes.
But not having trample sometimes just sucks.
Yeah. So I mean, this is where we want to see with a lot of Malfi's gameplay. Okay, okay, we got the sinkhole.
Yep.
This is what I was about to say. Hey, because I was gonna say if we had a turn 2 play from Pain Cow, I think probably the best would either be sinkhole number 1 or 2 be him to Turok.
Yeah.
So
Either take him off card or take him off mana. But the problem is Malfi is so fast to recur that mana. It takes one land to gain 2 of what your opponent is pretty much. So it goes very, very fast. This Pox here is gonna be a pretty big deal, I think.
Love me a good smallpox, and this is a smallpox for full value.
Right.
Pain Cow does not care if you've got a chalice on 1.
No, not at all. Smallpox,
Ooh,
chalice on
good
1
choice in Dark Ritual art.
is cute.
This is very good Dark Ritual art. That's my preferred Dark Ritual art.
Oh, I agree. That's one of my favorites. Absolutely.
Okay, so right now, this is where so we do have a he's discarding the Dismember. Okay, yeah. Stone Coil Serpent. That's exactly what I was about to ask for. Is if we had a solid follow-up threat.
Right. No, I agree. The only downside with this, with Pox being mono black, is Stone Coil Serpent. Really, that is he literally going to? He did bring in the Collective Brutalities. He is going to -1 or take that. That's brutal. That is amazing.
You know what? I have to give the respects. I have to give the respect.
Yeah.
You know what? Pain Cow got full value out of that. You got information in regards to the hand,
absolutely,
and as well as you got rid of one of the good threats that are in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that was a pretty good Collective Brutality.
No, I totally
It's been
agree.
A while before I've seen that, but yeah, that's pretty great.
Right, and Malfi sticks yet another threat right here. Another Walking Ballista comes down, so he's gonna pressure the life. This Lily is going to hinder that a lot, though.
Oh yeah, this is the threat that Pain Cow wanted to see, in the fact that this Lily not only pads your life total, but this Lily is an actual game ender. There is no way in Malfi's deck to deal with an army of 2/2 zombies.
No,
it just doesn't happen.
Right, and that's going to be really difficult. That is going to be real. However, he can climb that Walking Ballista out above where Lily can actually affect it. So he can, as he's plussing that Walking Ballista, granted nothing else happens, but that Walking Ballista is going to gain counters and can slowly start chipping away at Lily, which is nice.
That is very true.
Stone Coil Serpent can't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Stone Coil Serpent, though, is better in all the other blue fair matchups.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I have died to a Stone Coil so many times.
Yeah, the multicolor, pro multicolor is such a brutal effect that you don't even really think about just how good that is.
Yeah, honestly, it just blanks so many removal, and especially those decks that are just like, oh, I'm not going to rely on any other removal besides, maybe a couple of Swords of Plowshares and then an Oko and Abrupt Decay.
Right.
And unless you find those 1 through 3 ofs, it's a little bit difficult to get rid of. And then by that time, it's already done its duty.
Right.
And it doesn't get stopped.
like Eternally Surprised just said, there is an Ensnaring Bridge in the board, but it doesn't
Yeah.
stop the zombie army if you can't get your spells out of your hand. However, Pox does a very good job of helping you get your spells out of your hand.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
So he is going to kill the Walking Ballista here by activating Lily and then also doing the Collective Brutality.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Pankow wanted. It is to be able to stabilize the board.
Right.
So do we have any creature? Oh wait, no, we wouldn't have any creature.
He did sack the Ballista by removing the counters to hit Lily, which was a very smart decision.
I'm assuming definitely the play. You just don't want that Walking Ballista to die with the value.
Like Cather said, he can't remove the 3 counters because it's got -1/-1.
Oh, that was a good play. Okay, so I see the Lily +1s, and it's okay. So it could only hit for 2 if it does.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I like that.
Well, he also Collective Brutality the Walking Ballista as well, Cather. So it was getting -4, -3.
Yeah. So what we're seeing here when it comes to this board state is we're getting into that who can top deck harder, but Pankow right now has very much inevitability. Okay. Oh!
There's the opposition agent. In response to the Golos.
Oh! Value!
Right here, kids.
You got there!
Chooses not to search.
Yeah, chooses not to search. It is a May.
Yes.
But that was big. That Golos could have completely reset this entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, when Golos enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card and put that card under the battlefield tapped, and then you shuffle your library. So here comes another Liliana. He's going to tick down. Golos is gone, plus up the other Lily. Attack with opposition agent. This is, I think he may have this under control now.
Oh, can we get some hype for Pox in the chat?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is where Pox wants to be. It's got the one threat, and then it just supports it with more and more lilies. And man,
yeah, that's brutal.
This is brutal.
Urborg, tick up, discard nothing, tick up on nothing. Activate. This is going to go fast. He's got to stop this.
Oh, are we gonna do the Mazavith trick? Because that Mazavith trick was sick.
Yeah, I agree. Puts him Malvy's at 5.
Yeah, this is lethal on the next turn. So Malfi needs to find an answer here and an answer fast.
The only thing he could do would be Ugin and exile all the permanents.
Yeah, I think it's got to be just like an Ugin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think other than that, I think the combination of opposition agent plus the workshop is just going to finish things off. I mean, there's always the chance of a glimmer post to be able to gain life.
Right. But at the same time, that's only going to get you so far. Exactly. Yeah, they're going to scoop it up. Looks like Malfi is going to scoop. So that is it. That's going to be it for round 1.
For those that are saying that Pox is dead, right here. This is the matchup that Pox wants to play. This is the proof Pox is a real deck. And I do think that Opposition Agent does have a home in Pox, especially with the combination of Dark Ritual.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Pox, that was an absolutely brutal showing. Just how quickly it can grab a hold of a situation and completely tear it down and control it. And then keep controlling it over and over every turn, slowly grinding you out all your resources until you've got nothing left. That was really cool to see. And, unfortunately for Malfi, Colorless Post is a very good, very brutal deck. And this matchup was not great for him.
Yeah, and the Colorless Post deck really wants to take advantage of the fair blue mid-range decks.
Right.
And, disrupt them, especially any of the Delver decks, and just disrupt them enough to land a game-ending threat like Ugin or Karn and just finish it off from there.
Right.
So it was one of those things that I could definitely see why, some people would see this as not a very good matchup.
Right.
But man, was it fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that's the fireworks. That's the excitement you like seeing, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's what's great about Pox. And yeah, we see the cut and snaring bridge, Toxic Deluge, Chains, and Tabernacle. Yeah. Neither of those, any of those cards are not for this matchup.
No, I totally agree. Well, I think that's going to do it all for our round number 1. ! Discord in the chat. I'll get you guys a link so you guys can play with us next week right here on the MTG Paper Legacy Discord, Tuesday night fight night. My name is Beyond Sadistic. With me is Doc, and we will be right back with round number 2 coming at you.
Stick around.